I love you. Welcome back to the couch potatoes.
I was not expecting to just jump right into the recording.
I surprised you with it. Ninja click. I am the green traveler from Gorsh.
And I am the faceless Leon. Welcome back to the couch potatoes.
They're everywhere.
You already said that. This is Green and Faceless on the Couch.
Yes.
And it is a podcast about movies and TV.
Yes.
This is the PoLATEo Pick.
Here we are again from Don Callahan and Mike Hamilton. We've got a very sad one today.
Yeah.
It's sad for many reasons because I was very excited because it's an Audrey Hepburn film. And I think I'm on record on this podcast before saying that Audrey Hepburn is my favorite actor. Favorite female actor, I will say.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have a male actor out there who I probably like more. I can't even think of one. I love Audrey Hepburn. Like, she's everything. Like, there was a moment in my young adult life where I was sneaking a lot of Audrey Hepburn films because I thought it was weird that I was enjoying so many rom-coms. I mean, they're not all rom-coms, just romances in general. But, like, I was loving it. And then I got to college, and she was a very soothing thing to get me through stress. If I was feeling very down and lonely, I would just put on Breakfast at Tiffany's or something. I avoided this film like the plague. I did not watch The Unforgiven when I was going through my Audrey Hepburn phase because there's a lot of issues with it. A lot. And not enough to say that we'll get to a normal deep dive lengthy episode.
A lot.
But yeah, there's enough to talk about, I would say. But the main reason I had avoided it was because, like, Audrey Hepburn herself had basically disowned it for reasons of her own we'll get into. Because it's very sad.
It's fun deeping diving.
Hopefully. We'll find out.
Okay.
We'll see what the views are like. But,
alright, see, I saw the other page that you had, and I was like, you gave it... Okay.
That's
spoil.
It's a different grade. I watched a movie for our Bangers and Hash episode that got really good grade. Bangers and Hash. If you listening couch potatoes out there don't know, that is an exclusive episode available only for our patrons like Dawn and Mike, who submitted this episode.
That's right.
Yeah, something you can do as well if you want.
Which you can do that by going to patreon.com/greenandfaceless.
Yes. You do have to submit some cash for a tier.
Yeah, you do.
But I think it's worth it.
Because we do this for free.
Indeed.
Well, this particular episode I feel like we're paid for. But we do the podcast for free, so we appreciate anything that you can provide if you appreciate our show. And
if you can't provide cash, you can still provide feedback. Feedback is very, very much beloved. So, get in the comments, send us emails, whatever. Talk to us in life.
Tell your friends.
Yeah.
That's always important too. Like, I think we're at the stage right now where we got a pretty decent base, but we're not quite breaking through to really
the great beyond.
Yeah.
And if you hate us, tell your enemies.
Yeah, exactly.
So cover all bases there.
And if you really do hate us, let us know, because I guess I want to do better.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, man. Leave us comments. It's very appreciated. Just listening is appreciated, too. So
yes, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Here we are.
Yes, The Unforgiven, our second John Huston film in this podcast, since this podcast creation.
What do we do?
You don't remember? John Huston, famous for Queen of Africa. Sorry, I always do that. It's not the Queen of Africa.
Queen.
The African Queen.
A really good movie.
I remember we enjoyed it. He also, I'm seeing here, did The Treasure of Sierra Madre, which is important. But his biggest one is Maltese Falcon. I watched that for...
I haven't seen
we watched it, not you and me, but we watched it for a...
I've heard of the Misfits.
Yeah, Misfits too, yeah. But I remember watching the Maltese Falcon way back in college because I had this really awesome mystery writing class. It was, like, not us writing, but it was analyzing the mystery genre, basically. That
sounds cool.
And one of them that we read was the Maltese Falcon. I can't remember the guy's name. I want to say Sam, but I don't think it's Sam. I think that's the the main character of the Maltese Falcon. Yeah, Sam Spade. Shit. Who did the novel? Dashiell Hammett. How could I forget the name Dashiell Hammett? Yeah, I remember reading that a long time ago, and then we had to watch the movie for the class as well. Yeah, that's a good name, Dashiell. Yeah. I like it. But yeah, John Huston, father of Angelica Houston, Beautiful Wonder.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't either until I saw it here right now. But no, he's a good filmmaker.
Yeah.
And he had a vision for this story because he was hired to direct this film written by Ben Maddow and David Wolf. It is about anything in general. Like
I'll do a synopsis. I'll do it. I mean, this is a deep dive, so we can get into it. Yeah. So, the Zachary family.
Is that their name?
Yeah, that's the Zacharys. They are thriving in the Texas frontier.
I couldn't even have told you it took place in Texas.
It was in Texas. Well, it was right there in the end of that first sentence.
I know. Yeah. I get your inspiration. So, I'm just saying this movie does such a poor job at establishing itself.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah. They mentioned Texas a couple times, but I don't know enough about the frontier to give any weigh in on its accuracy for damn sure. But anyhow, they are cattle drivers, and they work with another family.
Rollins.
The Rollins. Zeb Rollin is the leader of that family, and Ben Zachary, played by Burt Lancaster, is one of our stars.
Yes, good old Burt.
Good old Burt. Audrey Hepburn plays his little sister, Rachel. Now, Rachel was adopted.
Yes, yeah. In their old Wild West ancient ways.
Yes. No legal process for sure.
Thank God for them.
Yes.
Well, sorry, thank God for the end of the film then.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no legalities.
God damn.
Yeah, that was a weird turn at the end of the film we'll get to.
So the mother, Matilda Zachary, played by Lillian Gish, she and her husband, who was later killed by Kiowa people, they adopted this baby that they found, supposedly.
After their daughter had died.
So, Matilda was able to nurse the baby and things like that.
Yes.
Later in the movie, his name was Abe Kelsey. I guess this is actually very early in the movie. Joseph Weissman.
Yeah, that was like the only intriguing thing for a little while in the film.
Yeah.
Was when he was like just showing up, and it's like, who is this guy?
He's almost like a ghost.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it would be. Because again, I had avoided this movie because I only knew that certain people who worked on the film hated it, and specifically John Huston and Audrey Hepburn. They both hated this film. Wow. I'll explain.
So Abe Kelsey comes onto the screen, and he's like, I am the spirit of vengeance.
Yeah, and he's got a saber.
Yeah, he's got a saber. And, he really freaks out Rachel. She goes, tells her mom, yada, yada, and her mom's freaked out. Her mom's definitely freaked out about it. And it seems pretty obvious that she knows who this person is.
But she acts coy.
Yes.
I won't let anyone know that he's back.
When Ben comes back from Wichita, he seems to know this Abe Kelsey as well. Oh, that's right, because Abe Kelsey's been chasing him from town to town.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part, and they've been keeping it from the younger kids.
Yeah.
So the other two Zacharys are Cash Zachary, played by Audie Murphy. Where's the other one? It's Andy. Andy Zachary, played by Doug McClure.
Yeah. Cash was initially supposed to be played by somebody. Who was it? Yeah, it was Richard Burton. But Richard Burton wanted equal billing with Burt Lancaster, and Burt Lancaster was like, "Fuck you." I'm pretty sure Burt was one of the producers because it was the production company's name was. Something Lancaster, something else.
Oh.
I don't remember what it... Hecht Hill Lancaster? Yeah, but I don't know if that was actually Burt Lancaster. Yeah.
Formed by actor Burt Lancaster.
Yeah, so he was just like, fuck you to that one guy, to Richard Burton. And was like, we're hiring Audie Murphy because he'll accept a lower price and lower billing.
Well, you know, for playing an extremely racist character, he did a good job.
Yeah, sure, yeah. A racist character who turns the tide in the third act.
Jeez. Yeah, I love that they made him the hero.
Yeah,
that made me so happy at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Hear the sarcasm, people. That's not real excitement out there.
No. So Andy is like very young to explain his character, because I think racist is enough for Cash.
Yeah, pretty much.
Andy is like this really innocent young guy who's, I don't know if he's supposed to be older than Rachel or not. Not
right,
sure.
about the same age-ish.
Yeah. And anyhow, he is very excited to go on his first ride to Wichita, driving the cattle with his big brother Ben, because they're going to get him a glass of beer.
Yay!
That's like the best thing in the movie for me.
Right? Alcohol!
Well, that's not what he's even talking about. He wants to go see the women.
Ladies. Yeah. He's very excited about the trip to Wichita.
He is.
There is another individual with him as well, which is mildly important to why John Huston hates this film, and that was Lost Bird, played by Carlos Rivas. Ben has hired this man as a...
That was Johnny Portugal.
Oh, you're right. Johnny Portugal is played by John Saxon. Ben has hired he is, I think, a Kiowa.
I don't think they actually expressly say he has nothing to do with the plot in the end.
No, yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
But he is hired on, and when Ben comes back with him being hired on and all their new cattle and whatever, Cash goes crazy because he's like, "This is a Native American person, and I hate Native Americans."
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously he uses a lot more slurs. There's a terrible amount of slurs in this movie.
Yeah, it is a 1960 film,
yes.
So there's a lot of...
not to excuse it.
No, not to excuse it at all. But yeah, there's a lot of it going on.
And not to say that they wouldn't put some of that in a film based in this period, but the heroes probably wouldn't be saying it over and over and over again.
So that brings me to why John Huston has disowned this film. Because he hates this film, I guess. He wanted it to address the racism against Native Americans. He wanted it to be very controversial.
And it seemed like it was going to go that way.
Exactly, it did, yeah. Because he wanted the hero to be on Native American side and to be friendly with Native Americans, except when the Native American person, or anybody in general, touches his little sister Rachel. If somebody touches Rachel, he's very protective, Ben is.
Yeah.
And they only used one scene where the... either Johnny Portugal, I think it's Johnny Portugal, touches like takes something out of Rachel's hair, like a pearl.
That's right.
Yeah.
Whatever you call those sticky, thorny things.
Yeah.
He pulls one of those out of her hair, real nice and everything, and then Ben goes crazy on him.
Beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, and then he's
but
like,
not because he's racist.
Yeah, not because he's racist.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't even fire Johnny. He's just like, he's making a point to everybody, like, don't touch my sister.
Exactly. And like John Huston though wanted to address the ill treatment of Native Americans in our country, specifically in this time period, in the 60s, the 50s. Because there's, it's still bad today, but it's very bad
also
then.
Just like right in the middle of the civil rights.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the producer said, no, we don't want controversy. We want fun action film, which is hilarious to me because this film is not in any way a fun action film.
Filled with controversy.
It's filled with controversy. Yeah. But yes, that's why the tone is muddled. Because like half of the film is what John Huston wanted it to be, which is our hero is actively being an individual who is just like, no, I will hire Native American people because I just need a worker and they are really good at working, and that's all.
This individual has the skill to do what I want.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just like, that's what his hero was supposed to be. But then there's a moment where the producers, I guess, stepped in and forced the hand into being like, no, we don't want to address...
We want you to kill these... bastards.
Yeah, make them the villains at the end because, surprise, lo and behold, we hinted that Rachel was adopted or found. Right. It turns out that Audrey Hepburn, Belgian Audrey Hepburn.
British born.
Well, English, right? Like she's from Belgium, so like I guess not British born.
Well, on her IMDb it says
she is the British actor. That's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very funny that she turns out to be of Native American birth.
Yeah.
I say funny. It's not funny.
It's not.
No.
And like when they first show her in the first scene, you're like, oh man, they sure did put a lot of sun makeup on her.
Yep. And actually, there was a moment for me too where I was struggling because she's like the first person you see in the film. And I was looking at her, I was like, I know that's Audrey, but that does not look like Audrey. Yeah. And I was just like, man, what did they do to her? Yeah. And then after a few minutes, once you find out that she was found, I was just like, oh no.
Right. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And I thought that storyline could work if they actually hired a Native American person who was, could pass as white.
Yeah, if they had...
making an actual story about that. Like, if somebody were to take this and remake it and actually make it about how racism is bad, I'd be totally down. But, there were no Native American people, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, too, none. I think most of the Kiowa...
And a lot of Kiowa people died in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think all of them were white people in red face.
I'm pretty sure.
As we've already mentioned, Johnny Portugal, John Saxon, Italian-born...
Yes.
American. But of Italian heritage.
Descent, yeah. Carlos... Rivas, I'm not sure, actually.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure either. Born in El Paso, Texas, to a German father and Mexican mother. Still could have Native American ancestry. So probably
does have some. But anyhow, he plays Lost Bird.
Yes.
And he comes because of the word spreading by Abe Kelsey. Mm-hmm. He comes to claim Rachel as his sister, and he very diplomatically offers horses in exchange, which does kind of put that the culture values her as property.
Yeah.
And that's not great. But if you think of it from their perspective, it's like, okay, if we come to these white men and do something they understand, trade,
right,
maybe we will get our daughter back.
Plus, it also, like, they could have gone like the kind of cliched route of where they were just like savages and just come in and raid the house to try to get her in the first place.
This is definitely better.
This is definitely better than that. They definitely, as you said, tried a diplomatic approach. Lost Bird also, I think, has meaning in Native American culture. Oh, here it is. Applied by some plain Native American tribes to Native children adopted by white people.
Oh.
So, kind of...
That's interesting.
Kind of weird that the character named Lost Bird would be coming to...
It's just supposed to, like, mirror...
Yeah.
I feel like that's there for people who know Native American culture to pick up on. But anyhow, what they do with Lost Bird is pretty sad.
Yeah, it's really... The third act of this film is god-awful.
Yeah, it really, really turns. So they I thought the last scene with Abe Kelsey was interesting.
Yeah.
Because everybody was trying to deny that it was true, that Rachel was Native American.
And they're going to hang this guy.
And they're going to hang this guy for lying.
Yeah.
But Matilda knows it's true.
Yeah.
And she's the one who actually ends up hanging Abe.
Yeah, because she goes berserk.
Yeah. Anyhow, once they get back home and Cash is like, she is Native American. I hate her. Yada, yada, yada. And he leaves.
That's the crazy thing, too. This guy has been her brother since,
her whole
20
life.
years.
Yeah.
And just immediately... Because it's like, she's Native American born. Nope, don't like her anymore. And he just leaves.
And, if they were to give a little bit more focus on why Cash thinks the way he does, I think it would be better. His father was killed by a Kiowa person.
Yeah, and, like, even if they had just followed him when he left, like, if the story would take just a little time to, like, follow him and, like, see him through that journey of being... like, discovering his own hatred and his own racism and being like, I'm at fault here. This is something I need to work on. That would have made him more of a hero when he comes back in the third act to save them from the Kiowa when they start attacking. Doesn't happen though. There's so much this movie could have done to make itself better.
Yes, definitely. And yeah, so the Kiowa come back to ask for Rachel again after they provide proof to the Zachary family that she is part of their tribe. Like, they leave their records of the tribe in their house. And the Zachary's response to that is to burn it.
Yeah.
Anyways, it really turns really fast. So the Kiowa are lined up. There's just 3 of them with a symbol of peace. Like, hey, we want to talk, parlay. And Andy's like, they want to parlay, Ben. And Ben's character just totally flips.
Yeah, he's just like, shoot him.
Yeah.
Kill one of them. Send a message.
Yeah. It's so that Audrey's character won't leave the house and just get it over with.
Right.
And it's like...
And apparently from that moment when, like, because she is willing to be like, I'll go with them to stop everything that's going on. I will go with them. And they're just like, no, that's not happening. And that's when he's, as you said, that's when he's like, that's when he flips and is just like, kill the guy. And from that burst of romance between Rachel and Ben,
I think they did pretty well establishing that in the first.
Yeah, act, like they definitely like each other.
Yeah.
However, throughout the whole movie, they still call each other brother and sister.
Yeah.
Until that moment, and then like once that moment happens, it's like we could be a thing,
Yeah, I think in the moment where he's like, "Let's have a marriage," I think he's pretty sure they're all going to die.
Yeah.
So he wants to get the fact that he has feelings off his chest.
Right. And now that they all survive at the end, he's
like, fuck, now I have to marry this girl who's like 12 years my junior.
And I'm going to call her sister throughout our entire lives.
God. Sister Rachel. That's my sister wife. Oh, you have... more wives? Or are you married to the same person? I don't understand.
I don't know if she's my wife, but she's also my sister. Wah, wah. Wah. It's fucking weird, man. And when they kiss too, it's even more weird because they have that romantic moment where they're just like in the heat of the battle. It's like, no, lip locked.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, oh my god, like.
And that's when Cash comes.
Yeah, so it turns the tide and saves the day. One man against 30 Native Americans.
Yeah.
Somehow he's okay. Oh my god. The ending is dumb. I really hate it.
I do like the piano thing. That was kind of fun. But
yeah, there's a bit to it I liked,
Yeah, they used the piano so that was racist too though.
Yeah.
So the Kiowa back off and have this ceremony of sorts where they're playing flutes and playing drums and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Zachary's like, they're getting magic off their flutes. We'll show them some magic of our own. Come on, Andy.
Play us tune.
Yeah, and they bring out the Zachary can lift the piano by himself too.
Yeah, that's pretty
Ben,
good.
that is.
Yeah.
And so Ben and Andy take the piano out there and they open it up and he says, play him some magic, mama.
She does. Yeah, it's a nice little moment. It kind of harkens to World War II where you hear like those kind of stories where there were ceasefires on like Christmas and they would hear the music playing of everybody. So it's a nice little call out to that, how there's those moments in battle. But I mean, immediately the Kiowa attack.
They attack the piano.
Yeah. She's like,
evil
oh my
piano.
God. These people are bad. They just killed our piano.
We better get them.
Kill them, damn it.
That piano didn't cost nothing.
First they want her sister, now they killed her piano. This is bad. Oh, it's awful, man. It's so stupid. And then because I remember we had a hanging thread there of Lost Bird. At the very end,
oh yeah,
Rachel gets the make the decision once more. Do I go with the Native Americans or do I shoot
my
Lost
brother?
Bird? Yeah,
do
my
I
brother.
shoot my lost long brother?
Actual brother too. Yeah.
Who only came here out of concern for me.
Yeah, and when he found her, too, was very just like, come with me, like, come on, like, he's not threatening at all. Yeah. I don't even think he has a weapon on him at that moment, and she just shoots him.
Yeah.
There's
two moments in the battle So, like, they do try to build up to it.
Yeah.
Like, there's one moment where she can't shoot him, and he rides off again.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's that last moment where they're face to face, and she shoots him right in the gut.
Yeah, it's awful, man.
Yeah, it's the worst.
And there's another reason. That's it for the synopsis part, but there's one last thing to discuss. I mean, there's a lot to discuss still, but Audrey Hepburn's reason for disowning this film.
Yes, I do want to know.
She was in rehearsal. She was riding a horse. She got bucked off the horse and broke her back.
Oh my God.
Caused a miscarriage.
Oh no.
So yeah, the production was shut down for quite a few months as she recovered. And when she was able to return, she did so without any enjoyment. It was on a contract at this point, and it just had to be finished.
And she was playing a racist character to do.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just... I can understand why it would be painful for her to even think about this film. She took credit for it, I guess. Like, she was just like, it was my fault. I messed up when I was doing the rehearsal. I'm thinking it might be also on the film's fault. Maybe, don't have a pregnant woman. I don't know if she was pregnant at the time or if it caused a miscarriage because of that afterwards.
I'm pretty sure she would have to be pregnant to cause a miscarriage.
Well, I meant I don't know if... Yeah, no, you're right, yeah.
But she might not have known she was pregnant.
Maybe not. In which case, I get it. I won't blame the filmmakers if they had no idea. But it definitely just seemed like a bad set in general.
I mean,
similar
old Hollywood also just didn't give a fuck.
I mean, it's similar. We still have these stories today. Case in point, Alec Baldwin getting sued for manslaughter. I was talking to my mom the other day where, she was just like, what's going on with this? Like, she didn't understand the details. If you don't know, it's not... the way I have to explain it to people is it's not Alec Baldwin, the actor, getting sued. It's Alec Baldwin, the producer, getting sued. Because he's producing this film. Absolutely no reason whatsoever why any of these circumstances should have happened. Yeah. That caused him to be holding a gun.
That was loaded.
Yeah, that had either a blank or an actual bullet in it. I don't remember which. But, blanks kill people too, guys. If saying it right now, if you don't know, a gun with blanks... held to somebody's head will cause death.
Oh, yes.
It's still... You can still kill people with that.
There's still a gunpowder explosion. There's just no bullet.
Yeah. And as the Prestige mentions, all you have to do is put, something in there, like a pellet, a rock, anything. Yeah. And, you can kill a man or a woman or folks as a general. Yeah, there's so many things about that movie set that Alec Baldwin was on. There's a lot of, warnings. People were quitting because of poor set management. And, there's so much to it that, he did commit manslaughter, It's just, it's very much apparent that there were a lot of warning signs, and they kept going. Yeah. And, and in most movies, if you ever see somebody holding a gun to somebody in a movie, it's movie magic. It's either a fake gun that's, incredibly fake, and there's no, if you pull the trigger, it's just, a little wooden block that's, click, click, click. Yeah. But it looks like a gun, it looks nice. Most often, you're not going to have a real gun or any kind of gun prop that could kill and if you want it to look real, if the producers or the director is very adamant that it looks real, that gun won't be pointed at people. Yeah, you'll have the camera angled in a way that it looks like they're pointing at them, but in fact they're pointing 2 feet to their left or whatever. Yeah. No reason that should have happened, but that's just like with the Unforgiven.
And it was the DP that got shot, right?
I can't remember. I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the camera person.
I don't remember all the statistics. I just remembered I had to look it up because I remembered seeing that he was being charged for manslaughter. I was like, oh no, did he kill Donald Trump? Is he trying to become the Donald Trump now? He's he got too deep into the character.
Oh, I'm sure he'll appreciate that joke. Hi, Alec.
Hi, Alec. Listening from prison. But no, Audrey did leave. She left acting for a year after this film. She actually had another kid, I think. Recovered for a whole, probably a year or 2 years. But then she returned with Breakfast at Tiffany's, her biggest role ever. Role, yeah. So I can understand why she would disown this film because one, it's fucking awful.
Yeah, I think there was just a lot of potential for it to be cool, but as soon as the slurs started flying, almost every other line, I was over it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. How much time we've been?
Probably 30. Yeah, exact. Yeah. Well, which is not a deep dive link, but I feel there's not a lot to deep dive into this one. I feel there could be a we could have our conversation still about something that always bothers me, which is producers getting their grubby little hands into the film.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, as you were saying, if Houston had gotten to have his way and make this film about racism, there could have been something here.
Yeah, there could have been. I mean, up until that third act, it still really felt like it was going to go that way. Like, there was obviously... It was obviously dated up to that point.
Yeah, terribly dated.
But just that third act just ruined it for me. It's like, why are these people who are just looking for their sister the villains in this story?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was literally just like, I was incredibly bored for the first 2 acts. And I was sitting through it. I was like on my phone a lot, but I was still paying attention mildly. And when that turn happened with Ben's character and the third act took off, I shit you not, I was just like, my jaw was on the floor, just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What is this?
Come on, Bert.
And yeah, I think to get into that discussion, producers, if you're a producer out there, let your fucking director direct.
Yeah.
Let them be the creator. You are not the creator. You should not have say. You give money. And I feel like that's the sad thing is the people who are giving the money have too much say right now. All you're to do is to give them the money and let them make their vision, like to do their jobs. Their jobs is making their vision come to life. You keep out of it. Your job is to give them money and make sure they stay on budget and on task.
Yeah, I think they're all super afraid that they're going to be the subject of the next Citizen Kane movie.
Yeah. That makes sense. They're like, fuck. We don't want that. Yeah, I'm sure there are historical, like, things going on in the 60s that would make them not want to address that kind of stuff.
I'm sure.
But, man, if they had just let him do that, this movie could have...
It could have... yeah, it could have been... I don't know if it, had any Oscar buzz on it or anything.
I highly doubt it got any kind of
notice. But, if it really had a poignant statement to make, it could have.
All we
Ludicrous.
All we have in the reception spot of Wikipedia.
Oh my gosh.
Stanley Kaufman of the New Republic described the film as ludicrous.
That's hilarious.
That's all they got. Yeah, it's dumb. Just keep your fucking hands out of it, producers. Like,
yeah.
Like... It's very annoying because we still see that today. We still see Marvel did that a lot in the first until they gave like the reins fully to Kevin Feige, and he still does that himself too.
Sure.
But like Ant-Man plagued with those issues. The first Ant-Man film, because like they had Edgar Wright.
Right.
Edgar Wright wanted to do his film, and it would have been damn good. We have little tastes of his film in that. Like what's his friend's name? I can never remember that actor's name.
Oh, Louise.
Michael Pena.
Michael Pena.
Or is it Michael Pena?
I think you're right.
Ant-Man. I don't want to see the new movie. I don't want spoilers. I just want the cast
Ant-Man
list.
film. Oh.
I don't want these spoilers. I just want Michael Pena. Michael Pena. Okay, good.
Hey, it is Louise.
Yeah, as the character Louise. Nice. Look at us. We know movies. Yeah, but those moments with Michael Pena's character in Ant-Man, those are most likely what Edgar Wright had written, because it feels very Edgar Wright-ish, that how he's like telling a story, but like you're seeing the story unfold, but only with Michael Pena's voice for all the characters.
Yeah,
like that feels like a Michael
really
Pena
funny.
joke.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is, but it felt like it. And like those are the moments where I'm just like, man, if we had just let Michael Pena make this comedy, it would have been good. The problem was the producers got in there and were like, no, we need more action, we need more of this, we need more Yellow Jacket, or whatever that fucking character's name was.
I mean, if they actually made him a character, that would have been fine.
Yeah. But yeah, they just want their fight. And it's the same thing, like Black Panther had little bits of that, like that whole third act, like how they had to have a fight.
Or
the original, like where Killmonger and Black Panther are fighting in that awful dark scene that I can't stand.
Because you can't tell them apart.
Yeah.
That's the worst part of it.
Yeah, and it's just like, I feel like that was a producer decision. I feel like that was them stepping in. Like, you need to have a big fight at the end, You can't just have this, like, political story. And, like, it would have been fine.
I do
the
think
fight's
that
still good.
them fighting was kind of felt like where that story was going.
Right. But it could have been done much better. I feel like they made them go bigger and badder, make it CGI and give me all this gold stuff. And, like, it's those moments, those big, like, DC plagued by it.
100%.
Yeah, so many issues with DC producers stepping in.
the first Suicide Squad movie.
Oh my god, awful, yeah.
Yeah.
And like there's another one in Marvel too that's the new Doctor Strange movie into the
right.
Doctor Strange.
I didn't mind
Madness.
that movie though.
It's not bad, but you can see the moments where it's Sam Raimi and the moments where it's producers telling Sam Raimi again what to do. Like Spider-Man 3. Oh, I feel so bad for Sam Raimi because he had a vision and the producers like stepped in and were like, no, don't do this.
Yeah.
And it ruins films. Whenever producers step in, they ruin the damn film. And that's what I'm trying to get at is that
you ruin this film.
You think that you're fixing the film because all they're focused on is getting the money returned. Right. That's all they care about. They want money and that's it. And they think all these things because they've done all these tests and they know that audience react to all these things, and so all these things need to be in these films. No. Audiences react well when a director's vision is
fulfilled.
Yeah, fulfilled, properly recognized, everything.
Yeah.
And I guess last thing to say, because I just want to talk about DC, because we mentioned that. I'm excited for DC's future. I'm not terribly excited for like all the titles they released and talked about, but it definitely seems like James Gunn and Peter Safran, thank you. Like it seems like even though they are technically producers, it seems like their vision is going to be met, because it seems like obviously there's people funding them and there's going to be other producers, but it's just like with Marvel where Kevin Feige gets that say-so.
Yeah.
In all honesty, even though it's the director's vision, when it comes to Marvel and DC, it really is these guys' vision. It's their story that they're telling. They're just hiring these directors to give it their own flair.
Right.
And so, like, I'm a little more lenient with them as producers stepping in because it's their vision in that regard.
I don't know if I mentioned this on or off mic, but I appreciate the title architect.
Right.
For them.
That's
I don't
fair.
know that's what they're calling Kevin Feige, but I like that title for that position.
Yeah, and I agree because I think that is a better title for James and Peter because like I watched James's he's been very adamant when he's talking about all this shit, and people asked him about Henry Cavill as Superman, like why did you kick Superman out, and he's like, we could always work with Henry Cavill again. He's like, but for our vision, we need a new Superman, we need a new Batman. And I'm all for that. That's fine. I thought it was funny, though, because people were, always talking about Henry Cavill. He's like, look, James Gunn said, look, Henry Cavill got fucked over by the producers who were running this show beforehand. Yeah. And he said this. Like, James Gunn was talking about these people. And he's like, the guys who were running the show before me and Peter got on board dicked him around like crazy. And I was just like, you fucking lay into them, James Gunn. Like, you give it to him because he's a director who's been plagued with those issues too, where the producers come in and tell you what to do. Yeah. And so now it seems like he actually will be able to do the job, just like Kevin Feige will be able to do his job. So it's like I'm hopeful for DC. Yeah. Because as with the Unforgiven, when the producers step in, it's shit. Yeah. And hopefully this
let's even look at the Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah.
It was a superior movie.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's the best movie in the world,
right,
for damn sure, but it was a good superhero movie.
But it wasn't finished. It needed reshoots, and so and Zack couldn't do it because of sad
for real legitimate reasons. Yeah. And Joss, we all know this story. Joss took it over, fucked it up.
Yeah, and he took it over because the producers wanted him to. They wanted him to bring more heart into it. Yep. And he was like, hard on into it.
Okay, I can do that.
I can bring hard ons.
Batman's gonna have a real hard on for Superman.
When he shows up, we're gonna see the biggest smile Ben Affleck's ever had.
All right, let's do closing statements.
Oh my God, yeah.
The Unforgiven.
Let's do it. I hate this film. I'm really sad that it's the first Audrey Hepburn we talked. Yeah. But all it means is that from here on out, when we talk Audrey Hepburn, it's uphill. Because they're all fucking beautiful. Well, not all of them. Most of them are fucking beautiful.
So, a lot of them are really good.
Yeah, there's one I haven't seen that I think is billed as a horror that I'm very excited for. I think it's called like The Waiting. Maybe it's not.
Well, maybe after our next playlist here, we could do a little Audrey Hepburn.
Dude, I would love that. Yeah, playlist. Home invasion thriller. Yeah, it sounds fun.
Interesting.
Mel Ferrer, I know that name for some reason.
He looks like he'd be a good villain character.
I don't know why I know this name, Mel Ferrer. Oh, because he was married to Audrey. I got it. Yeah, so, like, there's certain films of hers that I still haven't seen, but a lot of her romances I fucking love. She does what she can in this film. You can definitely see that her heart was not in it at a certain point. I feel like there's certain scenes where you can really tell that she's just there.
Yeah. And
those are most likely scenes that were shot after the sad breaking of her back and miscarriage.
Yeah.
Her life is plagued with issues. She's had a lot of...
Definitely.
She's got a lot of those kind of stories. Because I feel like she had like 2 or 3 miscarriages.
Yeah, some people it happens more easily than others.
And she's got a lot of sad things, and this is one of those sad things, is this whole movie. I gave it a 2-star on the paper, but that was, I don't know, I feel like I was just being nice, because I really do feel like this is a 1.5-star film.
Yeah,
like,
it's not that
it's
great.
Really bad.
I was thinking about giving it a full face until we started talking about it. I was thinking about giving it a full face out of the pure fact that it is an old movie.
And it's competent. You've mentioned with full faces before that it doesn't necessarily mean they're good, but they are a film.
Yeah, but I realized going back to some of our older episodes that I used to give out more half faces.
You want to get back to being mean.
Yeah, well, this is not a good movie. I don't recommend this movie. Half a face. Yeah, I don't think that the fact that it's dated is a good excuse, especially given what the director has had to say about the film.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so I hope I don't know Dawn and Mike's thoughts when they submitted it. I hope this is what they were wanting. I hope they were wanting us to dive into like the issues with this film.
I hope so too.
If you guys love the film, I'm very sorry. Maybe rewatch it. Rewatch it with what we have talked about at least, because maybe. With what we've discussed, maybe it's a completely different film in their minds now.
And if you want to pull your Patreon funding,
I'm sorry. But I mean, no. At the same time, we do respect these kind of films being discussed. So if again, go to patreon.com/greenfaceless. If you have something that you like, a film that has issues, that you want us to talk about, and again, if you do submit a film and you love it and we don't love it, just be respectful. We all have opinions.
Yeah, it's just an opinion. Yeah. We're not saying that you're stupid or racist for liking this film.
No.
But it's a stupid racist film.
Exactly. There's a lot of because people can watch Breakfast at Tiffany's and not like it at all, and they can ask me, it's just like, why do you like this? And I'll be like, I like Audrey Hepburn.
She's really good in it.
She's really fucking good in it. And she's beautiful. I understand now, looking back at my younger days, when I was watching it, why I was so infatuated with her is because I fucking wanted to be her. Mm-hmm. I didn't understand that then, but now as an adult, I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to be I want to do a cosplay as Holly Golightly from Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Nice. With the pillbox hat.
Yeah, I love that pillbox hat. She was a staple of fashion. That's another thing that's fascinating about Audrey Hepburn is I have a book somewhere around here that's a fashion. It's Audrey Hepburn, her style throughout the years, because she had I don't remember his name, but she had a fashion designer, a stylist that she was with for years, and that dude knew how to dress fashion fanciful women. Fanciful is the word I'm looking for. Fanciful. But yeah, The Unforgiven. Thank you for joining us so much. I hope you enjoyed it. It's forgettable, and it's unforgiving. We will never forgive this film.
No.
It is its namesake. I am also my namesake, the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
And I am partially my namesake, the Faceless Leon. Safe travels and good night. I'm not going to elaborate on
no.
Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of FictionWorks 19. Are you a fan of the show? Feel free to contact us at greenandfacelessfans@gmail.com or visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/greenandfaceless. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, or rate us on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for listening.